in your sense, the 10-point consensus that India and China has established in the 24th round of talks recently, was any progress, or is it still just status quo? It's just standstill at this point, hasn't moved further, and we're waiting for this talk, the bilateral chat with Xi Jinping that Modi will have in the next few minutes to finally pave the way for advanced talks. I'm not too sure what happened with the last 24th round of talks between India and China militarily.
I think as far as border situation concerned, so we have to forget about the status quo ante, which we have been asking for. And that is quite visible, from the kind of buffers we have established with India in Ladakh, especially eastern Ladakh, and some also in southern, Damchok area. And that is, again, visible from some of the statements emanating from our top generals, saying that there is a degree of standoff at certain friction points with China, implying that the situation is not that stable. And secondly is, as far as the question of de-escalation is concerned, that was a recurring theme in Indian statement after 24th round of special representative talks. That it has not happened. That means the troops from the Indian side and the Chinese side, they still remain at the line of actual control, but that may, ease up perhaps, after this meeting. But I am slightly skeptical because China has been asking India to put a border in its proper place as far as bilateral relations are concerned, and which, of course, we have always countered that as long as border is not stable and tranquil, you cannot diversify relations in other areas. Correct. But of course, there is some movement. If you see the statement, of the MEA, there are new mechanisms, confidence-building measures built, 3 new as far as border talks are concerned, 2 under this WMCC, but then again, I think these are at very, very, lower position, joint secretary level. It's not, the way SR itself was, if they contemplated in 2003 when it was first established, by giving it a political, you can say, push-up from both the countries and wanting to resolve the problem. And I see also it is a very, very problematic, sometimes disturbing, because the kind of early harvest that have been talked about in the statement, that is counter to the political parameters which were signed between the two countries in 2005 during the Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao's India visit. Why I'm saying so? Because ultimately the border has to be resolved through a package deal, and which is exactly the political parameters they talk about. The framework has to be thrashed out, I think, but the time, but what is the need of the time is to work out a framework and then perhaps delimitation of the border on the ground as a package. So that I think is not happening. But this, having said that, I think India and China, especially from the Indian side, so they have come to terms that, okay, so the problems are there, so we perhaps would continue to talk. And it is perhaps the beginning of diversifying, relationship in other areas. But as far as equilibrium, which one of the panelists said that, we are working towards that, I think that is a long haul. I don't think, we would be reaching the kind of equilibrium we had during the 90s or even 2000s. So that I don't think at this point in time. Over to you.